Do you mix in surround sound, anything from 5.1 to Dolby Atmos? Do you mix music, or are you in the film industry? Then you need an upmixer that will upmix your music, your score, and your ambiences to all different types of formats and give you the flexibility to turn up different speakers, but most importantly will crash down into stereo. I've got the plugin for you. Hi, I'm Benni Knop from Noisy Post, and I've been in audio post-production for a long time now, mixing feature films, live concerts for organisations like the Sydney Opera House and Art Centre Melbourne, and I've been using Penteo's 16 Pro Plus plugin to do all my upmixing, for my music, for the scores, and also for ambiences. And I want to show you how amazing this thing is at upmixing, but most importantly, crashing back down to stereo. Let's check it out. I've set up two examples here, one's music and then a bunch of ambiences, just to show you how good the crash down is. Now, you're going to see on the screen here what I'm hearing visually, but obviously you can only hear it in stereo all the time, which is not a bad thing because you're hearing the crash down, and I obviously get to hear it in it's in its 714 Dolby Atmos glory, but you'll be hearing it all in stereo, and you're going to hear that there isn't going to be any difference in the sound. But obviously I'll talk in about the plugin more and what you can do to manipulate it. But the fact is you can just chuck it on. It's up mixing to 714 now, and you're not going to hear any difference. Check this out. So there, that's the example with A is up the top there is the 714, and then it goes into stereo and you can't tell the difference. It's amazing how good this works. I'm just going to play you this. So you're going to see the visualization. There's going to be a bit of music in the background, but you have so much control. So here it tells you the down mix if it's perfect, 100%. And so I can do things like get rid of the center channel. So it's now got a phantom center. I could choose to boost the sides. I can drop the rears right back, so I can bring the sound more front heavy. You've got your upper range, so that's your ceiling speakers, and there's also the LFE, and you can either split it or boost it depending on what you want to do, whether you want to boost extra LFE into the mix or whether you just want to split it out so that anything under 80 hertz is going to the sub. But the fact that I can change these settings, I can put heaps of upper in there if I want. We'll just go back to default for these. I've noticed that a lot of the stuff gets brought back behind you, so I'd almost turn down some of the rears, but the way it balances is great. So in this track, the kick and snare still in the front, but the hats are here, some of the synth stuff, like it really splits things beautifully and makes it ambient and surrounds you really well. It's just so good, and to you, it's just stereo. The fact that the crash down is so amazing is awesome. So I'm just going to play some other sound effects, but to be honest, you're going to hear these all just in stereo. So, I'm soloing this one. So this is just a New York cityscape. So you can obviously, when I solo it, you can hear the click across. There's nothing, you can't, as I said, can't hear it in 714, but it doesn't feel unnatural at all. I don't often use, I wouldn't use the upmixer on ambient sounds very often. It's like used for specific sounds or when you kind of need it if you have only a stereo sound effect and you want to get some more space. Or maybe it's like I've got here a crowd, like if you're doing some sort of comedy, live comedy show or a concert and you only got a stereo pair, you could really bring the audience off the screen using this. I'll show you this ambient crowd sound. So sorry, I'll show you the right plug-in. So you can see here, it's just getting spread out beautifully. And it doesn't feel phasey or anything. It doesn't feel like it's been torn apart. It's just a well-balanced surround of all the sound there. It honestly works a treat. It's great. What's the last one I've got? I've got some rain here, so let's play that. So you can see here there's not much upper, so I could maybe like add more upper. We don't want it in the center. We might, you know, want it rear heavy. We can do that. And you're not going to notice the change in the stereo mix. The stereo bounce down, I don't know what, like, I'll just let you listen to it for a minute. I don't know what sorcery there is behind this, but the way there's obviously amazing math and whatever they've worked out, algorithm, I don't know what it would be, but the way that it doesn't matter how it pulls it apart and what kind of changes you want to make to it, it still works in stereo. The one thing that changes it, so if we play, let's go back to this track. If we want, we can boost or raise the upper. So that raises the top. But the more we do this kind of stuff, it still says 100% perfect. I don't know what's going on here. How do we break the thing? Honestly, I don't actually know how to break this thing, how to make it not downmix perfectly. It's just amazing. Doing a demo like this on YouTube is kind of redundant because it's all stereo, but at least you got to hear it crash down from the 714 glory that I got to hear. The one thing I can suggest is get yourself a trial version in the description below, download Penteo and try it for yourself in your studio because you won't be disappointed. The flexibility where you can mix things either forward or back, you can really bring things off the screen if you want, but knowing that when someone watches it in stereo, they just hear the track as it was meant to be. I hope you found this video helpful. If you've got any questions or you download the trial version and you want to let me know how it went, please write them in the comments below and I'll see you on the next one.